This tutorial is about backing up your data file. Now, the most important thing you could probably do with your payroll, besides of course get your payroll from it, is to back up the data so that if anything ever happens to your computer or to the software itself, that you'll be able to restore the information that you've input up to that point. Now, backing up is a very quick process, so the best thing is to do it at least once a month after you have finished doing your payroll for that month. And the way to do it is you click on backup. So you finish doing your payroll, you finish your pay slips, you've done your reports, then you come here, click backup, and then this will of course be your company name and a short form of your company name. This data file suffix is the name that attaches to the name of the data file. Now, to make the backup, you just click this button, and then it gives you this message, copy paste complete, and this file has been updated to C payslips data files folder, PMDB trial. Trial is the name of your company. PMDB is the name of the data file, right? So this is PayslipMaker database and underscore your company name. So it creates two files. The first one is a file that will be overwritten every time you make your backup. The second one, which goes to payslips backups, PMDB trial, which adds a date, means that you will have a copy of every backup that you've made showing the date and time that it was made. When you say yes, what happens is you get two folders, one called payslips data files and one called payslips backups. In the data files, you get your file PMDB trial. You can see I have done that on this date at that time. Okay, note that because we're going to do another one once the time passes. If we go back, we have the backups here, which has a file with the date and the time. Okay, so you have two folders with two different backups. Now let's say you've done another month and you want to make a backup. You come again, same thing. After finishing, you just click that, click yes, and when you go back there, you'll notice now in the backups you have two files, and in the other one you have only one file, but the time, I think this is the time that it was modified, but it has been replaced. So if we were to do something in that file, let's say let's go in there and put in a name. Okay, so now we have changed the file. If we make the backup now, I want it to change to 10:08 so that the time can be something different. All right. Now, while we're waiting, it's gone to 10:08. So let's make the data file backup. So we say yes. If we go back there, you have your trial now showing 10:07, which is a new one. It's no longer the 10:02 one. And if you go back to backups, you now have three files. Okay, so that's how you make your backup. Now, what do you do with this backup when something happens to your software? The software itself you can always get from me. If you email me, it's available online. The demo itself, you can see I'm using the demo, will work perfectly for you. Once you restore, everything that you had before will come back to normal. So now we do restore. Okay, I've given you the software back, you've installed it. Now you want to restore, you still have your backups. You come here, you say restore, you can see the three files and one file. Now if you're sure that the latest one is fine, you just double click on it and it tells you restore complete. Active data file PMDB has been updated. and you click, you say close, you log in again. The login is required every time you do some of these activities to make sure that somebody is not trying to get past the login screen. And you're back. If you wanted to use the one of these, let's say the latest one, this 1008 one, you highlight it, double click on it, and restore, and your data will be back. I think that's the one where we had the name of somebody. Let's go in there and see. So that one has Tom Kamau. If I back up, if I restore the older one, which is before we did Tom Kamau, you see there is no employee list. Okay, so that's how we do it. In fact, what we could do is we can say Jane Otieno. Okay, so now we have two different ones. So if I do backup, I make a backup, yes, I log in, I do a restore. So this is the Jane Otieno file that I have open. So if I go to restore and do the 1008 one, this was the Tom Kamau one. I restore, log in, I have Tom Kamau. If I want to go back to Jane Otieno, I restore 1010, and we have Jane Otieno again. Now, another very important thing is the way I've set this up now, you're backing up to the same computer. Your computer could get stolen, it could get corrupt, anything could happen to it. So what I suggest is you get an online drive like Google Drive or Dropbox or one of those. Then you create a backup folder on your Google Drive. Now what this Google Drive does is it is a folder that is sitting on your computer, which means you can work on it offline, and every time you connect to the internet, it connects back. See, like now here it is. How do I open it? This is my Google Drive, right? So it's telling me I have 66 GB saved onto the internet, and this constantly syncs whenever you connect to the internet. If you have internet, it will sync the Google Drive and any other folders on your computer that you've told it to do. Okay, so if I wanted now to make this payroll backups folder my new backup for the backups one, which is the one which adds the date and time, I come up when I'm on this Windows Explorer, I right click in that space and I say copy address as text. Then you come back here, go to the backup folder. Now you notice I'm not deleting this little slash. Well, I want to replace this one. I don't want to delete this little slash because it's required. So I'll come, highlight that portion and paste. What I did was Control V on my computer. That is how you paste using the keyboard. So now you can see it says D, Google Drive, payroll backups, and that's where the backup will go to. Now if I make a backup and I say yes, what you'll notice first of all is that my backup has gone into this drive. Now it didn't go, this is 1013. Now it has not gone here. 1013 is not here. It is now backing up here. Alright, so if I want to restore, the restore will always look in the path that is indicated here. So in my restore, now I can only see the 1013 because it's looking at the Google Drive one. Now I'm very comfortable now that I have a backup on my Google Drive that if it syncs, alright, it's already synced, updated just now. In fact, if I make a new backup, I'll show you how it does it. So if I say backup, make data file backup, so now I have 2 backups there. If I show here, you can see it's syncing. Because I'm connected to the internet, it's now syncing that file up to my backup folder on the internet. So if something happens to my computer and I get a new computer, install it kabisa, and I get my software, I just need to go in on the software now and go to my backups, map to this. Once I've done that mapping, I'll come to restore, and my data will be there, and I'll be able to restore it. So that is how you do your backing up safely to keep the data that you've input over many hours. And some people have many years of data sitting in their payroll. You need to keep that data safe by backing up every time. There are some people who've used this software for many years and have never lost their data, but have had mishaps happen on their computers and with the software getting corrupt and so on. But they don't lose their data because they make backups. So that's how to do it.